Dad says it's like you're a puppet, and the black thing's pulling your strings.
How do you think the long time off in the U.S. will affect viewers?
What it has done is alleviate some like spoiler pressure. So it's kind of like people have sort of sat back for a while, and you know, they may have to reaccustom themselves to season 1, but it's kind of like you get to sort of start with season 2 without much worry of spoilers or, you know, anything like that. It's just a complete reinvestment.
It's a big portion of your life, like the time that it's been since you shot. It's probably been a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
How old are you now?
9.
And how old were you when we met?
6.
What?
It's a third of your life.
Yeah, that's a crazy way to look at it.
Speaking of spoilers, do you worry about people ruining the show for themselves? Like they could easily just go and read recaps from
Sure.
the UK.
Right, yeah. I get, like the only social media I do is Instagram, and so there's a lot of like people from other countries that have seen season 2 that will comment on my Instagram, and they'll be like, I just saw episode 5, I can't believe this is happening, and I'm like, whoa, hey, shit, keep that on the down low, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. How do you feel about spoilers? I'll ask you, I know that you're very excited, you're a Star Wars fan. So if someone
busting.
told you what happens
called
before
it
they saw the movie, would you be upset?
Oh yeah. I like to find out what happens in the movie for myself. I think if you like skip an episode in something, then you're like, what happened? What the?
Yeah.
I don't even know how this happened. What's going on? So you don't really understand it.
I would say, though, that you, and particularly Aiden, are story busters of the
Yeah.
highest degree.
Yeah, like if we see something, we'll be like, oh, this and that happened, and you need to see this because this happens. And then I think I already saw it from you saying what you just said.
Do you guys ever get freaked out on set? And how do you keep yourself from getting too dark, mindset-wise?
What was some scary stuff that happened in season 1? There was
when
that
we
creepy
were-
house.
Yes, when we were filming in Patrick's childhood house, the closet, it has like this wooden spoon in it, and Patrick trapped me in it once. I got terrified because I hated that. It was scary to me.
You remember playing with a flashlight?
Yeah, and then whenever I would turn a corner, he'd like scare me, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, my soul just went out of my body.
She volunteered for this
Yeah.
this behavior.
To get scared.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm like, oh, do that again. I want to get scared.
I was gonna ask how you keep things light on set, and that sounds like a good example.
Yeah, I think when we met each other, she was 6, and it was very quick. Like, we didn't really get to know each other before our first scene, and we're supposed to be daddy-daughter and very happy to see each other. And I think both of us were kind of like just getting to know the other person and kind of like how familiar are we able to be. So we were only just a little bit kind of awkward at first. And
Yeah,
so,
because I remember when we first met each other, I was done filming that one scene.
yeah.
And I was walking, and they were like, oh, this is Patrick. He's going to play Kyle Barnes, your pretend dad.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. Bye.
Yeah.
So I think, we both felt like we wanted to be a little more comfortable. So we started hanging out a lot on set, doing different, like, games. Maddie's,
And we did pretend stunts,
yeah.
which was
pretend
really
stunts.
fun. And every time we'd like jump off of things, and I'd be like, I want to do it again. And then he'd be like, okay.
It started with, like, trust falls, but then evolved to, like, trust falls off of the balcony of the house.
Yeah, there's
Colin.
this balcony on his childhood house, and we would jump off of it. I would jump off of it, and we put this mat down, and then we would jump off, and then we'd see who landed on their feet. And I could never do it.
It was more safe than the way she's describing it, I assure you.
Joshua. point.